Alright, hello and welcome to the first official Quibbox screencast. Today I'm going to show you the CMS module. The CMS module basically allows you to edit static websites as if they were hosted on a CMS. And one of the cool things about this is that you can download basically any website and just put the Quibbox CMS on it. Another very good feature is that you can get your websites to be very scalable, because you can put them on a CDN or on a service like S3. And you know, no matter how many visitors you get, it'll always hold up. And another feature that is very useful is that because your site is static, it's also very search engine friendly. A lot of the things that other CMSs do to be search engine friendly are actually to imitate a static website. So since Quibbox's websites are fundamentally static, you're basically already there where all these other dynamic systems are trying to get. So let's get right to it. The first thing you need to do is you need to go to quibbox.com, which is very simple. Just enter the URL, and in order to log in, you just click here, and you can log in through your Google account. So you don't need to register on Quibbox itself. You can just click continue sign in. And if you don't have a Google account, well, it's a simple registration. You know, just register Google and then you hit sign in. Okay, so now we are registered and we're ready to use Quibbox. But we first need a site that we can use it on. So just for an example, I'm going to open up Solutions for a website, which is a pretty cool example because it's actually quite complex. It's got some Flash on here, it's got some dynamic stuff down here, it's even got some JavaScript menus over here, and so it's a quite complex website. So how are we gonna get that over to a different CMS? Because we don't have access to the data. The website is currently on a proprietary CMS, so we can't get the actual data that the CMS is using. So we can't really write a regular standard import. Even if we had a system like WordPress ready, we can't write an importer. We can't really get at the data. So what do? One of the ways that we can actually get the website is download it using a website grabber. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start httrack. Going to give it a project name. I'm going to give it a path, and it obviously needs the URL that I want to download. Very simple. So I say mirror the website. All this can be left at the default, and now we're ready to start. And now it's downloading the website. Now, since this is a rather big website, this will take a moment, and so I'll stop the video and continue when it's done. So see you in a bit. Okay, so we're done downloading and we're ready to look at the result. So let's open the URL and hope it looks kind of similar, and it's loading, and there we go. It looks pretty much exactly the same. I can see that the live chat isn't working, but obviously that's something we can fix manually. But apart from that, the menu is here, and let's try a link, and now that's working as well. So I think we're ready to install Quibbox. And to do that, we go back to quibbox.com, and there's a little JavaScript snippet here. And all we need to do is we need to copy that and paste that somewhere into our website, which I've already done. So we can skip that. And the next step is to just start Quibbox using the Quibbox shortcut, which is Control-E. And whenever you hit Control-E, that's just for starting Quibbox, and it'll come right up. In this case, since this is the first time we're starting it, we'll get the new site wizard. So we'll go next, and so what we need to set up if we want to use Quibbox CMS is some kind of file access. So the only thing that's currently supported is FTP access, but we're planning to implement S3 access and maybe SFTP as well, so you can sort of get at your files, and Quibbox can make changes. And we'll just enter the FTP server here. We can actually do a quick test. So the server exists, it's just saying that it needs the login information, obviously. So we're going to enter that and enter the password, and then go test again. And now it got through, and what it actually did was upload a test file to just make sure that's actually the right FTP account. So it might be able to log in, but it might be the wrong website. So it's just checking that, and yes, if it uploads a test file, it comes up on the right domain and all that's checked out. And so we can go next. And now the next step is usually to validate yourself as an administrator of the site. But in this case, if we've just entered the FTP data, it already knows that we're obviously an administrator, so we can basically skip this step. Another way to validate would be using Google Webmaster Tools. If you're validated there, it'll detect that and automatically validate you here as well. And another way would be to upload a certain file manually and prove that you're the administrator and so on. So basically in this case, we're just ready to go to the next step, and we're done. And that's all of the setup that you need to do. And now Quibbox is installed on this new website, and all we need to do now is to reload the website and go hit Control-E again. And now Quibbox started. And this is Quibbox. This is this little toolbar up here. And it says here that we should start by choosing our first module. So we'll do just that. We'll click on it and we'll choose the CMS module. And now we've added the CMS module to Quibbox. And what we can do now is click on it. And it comes up. And this is basically when you first install Quibbox and just first start the CMS module. The first thing you need to do is you need to define a template that your site can be based on. So we'll just use this front page. So we'll go make template. And now this is a template for Quibbox. And what we need to define now is actually what area changes from page to page. And that would be through this little add area thing. And now I can basically select any sort of div or whatever is floating around here to be editable. So let's say we want to make this editable, which is actually the main text down here. So we're going to click on that, and then we're going to click OK. And now this text on here is editable. And if we want to actually make changes to it, we can click on Edit Text. And then the text, this is the editable area. And we can mark any text and make it bold or whatever, just type anything. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. Then we can go back and it will use our changes. And another cool feature is that we can edit the CSS. So we can go, if you have Firebug installed, obviously, you can go inspect element. And anyone familiar with CSS will probably already use Firebug. But if not, you can get it on www.getfirebug.com. And now we've just done this little change to make the headline yellow. We could also, make the links yellow. Not all the links are yellow. Whatever we want to do, it's just you can do whatever you want. And once we're done, we just go back. And another feature I want to show you is that you can also, of course, edit the meta tags. So if you want to edit the title, you can do that. Or if you want to edit the meta keywords, you can do that. Just enter them in here and then go OK, and you're done. All right, so this is the basic functionality of Quibbox CMS. Once you have more than one page, obviously you can import these pages to use the same template. And then when you change the template, you can propagate these changes. But those features aren't quite ready for demonstration, so I'll show them in a future screencast. But this is the basic functionality of the CMS module, and thanks for watching, and goodbye.